welcome to my blind playthrough of Obsidian's new game, Avowed. It just came out. Actually, it's technically not even out yet. This is still in the pre-order period. The game is officially released on February 18th, but it is now February 13th. I have downloaded it, and this is all I've done so far. All I've done is open the game. I have read some reviews, and obviously I've been talking about the game and everything, so I guess it's not 100% blind, but I really don't know what to expect here, so I will be going this game 100% blind, well, as close to 100% blind as I can, and recording it. And I will probably be putting these videos up after I've gone through a good amount. I don't want people spoiling things for me. That would kind of suck. So I just kind of want to record my playthrough and do so with as little knowledge about the game. And obviously, I have played Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2 and recorded my lore throughs on YouTube. As of right now, I have completed a playthrough of Deadfire, Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. And I got an ending, although I'm still planning on continuing that at some point. I want to do DLCs, get some of the other endings. But I have already also completed first games or through with a few different endings through the DLC, all those kinds of things. So I am excited. Let's go. Starting a new game.
Eora, a world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel, in a cycle of reincarnation, watched over by the gods. Our gods, some of whom love us more than others. Your home, the Aediran Empire, is treasured by Wodica, Our Lady of Law and Vengeance, the burned queen. But our goddess has lately turned her eyes from us, and our empire has suffered revolts, famines, challenges to rightful rule. We lack a common purpose, but we could find it in the living lands, a rich and lawless island settled by fugitives, wanderers, exiles, and us. Yet the more we free this place from danger, the more the land fights back. And now, as our colonists crowd into Paradise, the last safe city, the locals find themselves crowded out. Many years ago, you were born to a family in our Aediran Empire, and in a rare turn of the wheel, you came into this world a godlike, touched by a patron god in the womb. To some, a blessing. To many, an abomination. You grew up an outsider, but I saw potential in you. Potential and an opportunity. And within my court, you found purpose. Now I call upon your vow to our empire and name you my envoy. Venture forth in the name of your homeland and secure our future.
Okay, already a lot to go over there. I think that was being narrated by the Fairkuning in the Aedir Empire. We saw a picture of him with his May Queen, a Kukulkan elf. They cannot actually reproduce, though. The interspecies relationships can't reproduce, so it's more a marriage of like political. It's a political marriage rather than a marriage based on love. Although, who knows? Maybe they do also love each other. We saw an Inquisitor behind them as well, an Inquisitor of Wodica, who they quickly mention, who is one of the gods here. She is considered the queen that was, all about order. She, in the last game, had very little faith in Kith of the world, or the people of the world, of all races. Kith is humans, elves, dwarves, Amawa, Orlin, and godlike. We also find out that we are godlike, and you can see the growths on our skin here. This isn't what we're going to look like, but you can see the mushrooms, and depending on the thing that you choose, you can see different mushroom growths. And I did know that we were going to play as a godlike character with some kind of mushroom growths on our character's skin, although I do not know, and before this game, I don't think anybody did know who your actual patron god is. So that is probably something that find out as we go on. Whether it is an old god or a new god, I don't know. So we have some presets here, but let's go and make our own. I'm going to be a human, I think. You know, I'm going to be an elf. I'm not going to do, if you watched my lore throughs, I am not going to create Bearter again. Bearter is a watcher, and you are, as far as I know anyway, you do not play a watcher in this game. So I am not going to be continuing my adventures as Bearter here, since that was kind of a roleplay type thing, and Bearter is a watcher. And again, you're not supposed to be a watcher in this game. All right. So this... They all say you hail from the Aediran Empire, one of the world's major colonial powers. Aedir is a nation forged by centuries of war between neighboring human and elven kingdoms and formed by their eventual alliance. Your emperor chose you to journey to the living lands to investigate the Dream Scourge. So I want to be an elf. I like that skin tone, actually. It's temperature. I don't know what that does. This is face presets. That one, I think. Godlike features. It says you are a godlike, a rare individual born, blessed, or cursed with a connection to one of the gods. Godlike manifest their divine heritage in unique physical features and innate abilities that reflect their patron deity. Different cultures may view them with suspicion, reverence, or curiosity. Strangely enough, many of the godlike have disappeared from the world in recent years, but you have not. Stranger still, you have never learned which god touched your soul. I think now would be a good time to say that I will be talking about events that happen in Deadfire and Pillars of Eternity, so there will be spoilers for those two games. Not overly much, but where I think it's important, I will be discussing them. So if you don't want those, then maybe watch my lore through, or you can go play the games yourselves. But I just want to be clear about that I will be talking about things that happen in games where I find it appropriate. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So it looks like you can choose to display your godlike features in the game or not. That's interesting. I'm going to be 100% honest here. The idea of plants growing out of skin is like, it bothers my stomach. So I might end up doing that if it's something that we have to look at often. The stuff in the hair is not too bad for me, but like this, it like viscerally affects me. I'm sure I'm not the only one there, but I just wanted to make that clear. So I may be turning these off, and you know, I think I am actually going to turn these off. I'm sorry if that makes you mad, but I can kind of feel it already. All right, so let's see, what can we do in hair? That's kind of cool. I like that. I'm okay with that. This one. I'm not someone who goes and plays with character creator all that much. I try to make somebody that looks interesting, but I'm not going to go into all of the little sliders, if there are even sliders, and try and make either a monstrosity or somebody perfect looking. I'm just going to kind of quickly pick, and that's usually what I do when I play these games. Facial hair. Yeah, see these sliders? I'm happy with the presets here. Action. This is like freckles and stuff then. Alright, so here's our backgrounds. We can be an arcane scholar. Your background provides unique dialogue options and determines your starting weapon. All equipment and abilities are available to you regardless of your background. After graduating with honors from Broggenhill Academy... Where's Broggenhill? Well, in the Aether Empire, duh. You published a treatise on soul lineages that threatened the legitimacy and drew the ire of a local lord. When he had you arrested, the Emperor intervened and recruited you into the archives of the Imperial Court. Your mind is a bottomless well of occult knowledge, legal precedent, historical observation, and poetry. You've forgotten more than most people ever learn. You can be a court augur. This says your background provides unique dialogue options and determines your starting weapon. All equipment and abilities are available to you regardless of your background. So it seems like this will mostly just affect dialogue. When your village's crops failed, your strange insights and unsettling manner earned your neighbors' suspicion. You foresaw the torches and pitchforks and fled to High Crown, where the Emperor recognized your talents and elevated you from back alley fortune teller to his personal mystic. You've learned how to wield power from the shadows. All it takes is a dash of influence and a pinch of deception. Noble Scion. You were born to a noble house of great influence, middling wealth, and questionable morals. When scandals and succession disputes saw your family cast down, you threw yourself at on the Emperor's mercy, and he shielded you. Canny yet refined, you've become a formidable force at court and an invaluable ally to the Emperor. A Vanguard Scout. Born to humble beginnings and driven to desperation by famine, your life was destined to end at the executioner's block until the Emperor spared you. You're more at ease in the wilderness than in court, but your cleverness and observant nature have made you one of the Emperor's most trusted operatives. Whether tracking prey or spying on enemies, your skills are put to work both inside and outside the throne room. That one sounds like it might be, but I'm going to read War Hero first. You distinguish yourself in the field of battle, fighting a violent Skaenite uprising, and the Emperor honored you with a place among the elite Tallgrass spearmen. Some of your scars are less obvious than others, but you wear them all with pride. The Emperor values your loyalty, your grit, and your martial prowess. So yeah, I am going to go with Vanguard Scout here. Tracking prey, spying on enemies, that all sounds like stuff I like doing. Attribute points. Might, Constitution, Dexterity, Perception, Intellect, and Resolve. They are the same as Close of Eternity games. So max for character creation is 3. Might, a character's physical and spiritual strength, brute force, as well as their ability to channel powerful magic. Increases your damage from all sources, also increases your carry capacity, which is the amount of weapons and armor you can carry before becoming encumbered. Great all-around choice for dealing more damage. Constitution, a combination of the character's overall health and endurance, increases your maximum health and your resistance to poisoned and bleeding statuses. Improves survivabilities for players who like to be on the fray. Dexterity. A character's hand-eye coordination, balance, and overall grace increases your attack speed, weapons and abilities, as well as your action speed. Equips consumable use in parkour, and reload speed. Good for builds where mobility and flexibility use of your arsenal is key. Perception, a character's senses, as well as their instinctive ability to pick up on details, increases your critical hit chance and your maximum range for weapons. Wands, guns, and bows will be more effective at longer distances. Intellect, a character's logic and reasoning abilities, increases your maximum essence and your resistance to the ignited, shocked, and frozen statuses. Great for wizards who focus on spellcasting. And Resolve, character's internal drive, determination, and fearlessness Increases your maximum stamina and the frequency and efficiency of second wind. When taking lethal damage, you'll fight off death more frequently and jump back in with more health. Good for warriors who need to swing heavy weapons and survive big hits. So I'm going to be a mage type character in this game. So let's see. You can go to 0. Okay, so that's interesting. Increase might. To increase intellect too. Do that. So might 2, constitution 1, dexterity 1, perception 2, intellect 3, and resolve. I think I've used all the points that I can. Going to stay with normal. Voice. Voice 1. Identifier she. Other choice though. So you can do he, she, or they. Okay. Display identifier and player character sheet. What is that? Display godlike hair features in game. Yes. Display godlike facial features in game. Name. So I have used this name for other games before, so I'm going to call her Amina. And here we go.
What do you know of the living lands? The rumors and tales are so vexing, they cannot be true, and yet they are. Those untamed wilds, overgrown with the most curious wonders, and the most dreadful abominations. There beats a dark pulse within the heart of that soil. Something vile stirs beneath the earth, seething with rot and decay. A corruption growing beyond everything it touches. Its foul tendrils reach towards us, to lash out at the Empire itself. I command you, go to the living lands, find the roots, and if necessary, sever them. You are my envoy. Remember your vow. The hopes of an empire rest upon you.
Envoy, over here.
Okay. So, just wanted to say a couple things about that opening there. First of all, I know I said that, um, like mushroom and plant growth coming out of skin kind of grosses me out. And I knew that there was going to be some kind of plague that was fungus related in this game, but if we're going to get a lot of scenes like that little animal there with that with those kinds of close-ups of mushrooms growing out of the skin and stuff, this might actually be a little bit of a horror game for me. So that's fun, and it makes me glad that I turned it off on my face too, so I don't always have to look at it when I'm inventory screen. Also, it seems like our ship crash landed outside of the Living Lands. The Living Lands are known as this very wild place, and the Fairkoning, I think that was the Fairkonings, told us that that was so. It may have been someone else that was telling us that. But either way, they know little about the Living Lands, but it seems like the next bastion for people here after the events of Deadfire. Okay, this says inventory screen. You can have 2 weapon loadouts that could be swapped by pressing left alt. Okay. Press right or left quick to equip a selected weapon in the main hand or offhand. Okay. Armor and clothing can be equipped. Armor grants damage reduction. Each piece of clothing provides 1 distinct item bonus. All accessories are unique, providing powerful benefits. You can equip up to 1 trinket or amulet and up to 2 rings at any time. Okay. Get some fungal growths over here. I think. Power.
You're alive! Thank the gods I pulled you out the wreck when I did. I wasn't about to let the Emperor's Envoy die on my watch.
So, looking at this here, I just want to hit the F button for dialogue, history, and lore and just see what it says. Okay, so these words here, it tells you what they are. You are an envoy, an official representative of Adir, sent on behalf of the Emperor to investigate the Dream Scourge and maintain order in the Living Lands. Trust you dragged me out of that wreck.
At least the journey's not completely lost. I heard the cannons. I couldn't... We...
Let's start with names. Who are you?
The name's Garrick, ma'am. Quarter gunner, 3rd Adiran Fleet.
Here. Your homeland, the Adiran Empire, is a nation to the west steeped in ancient traditions and laws. Several Adiran emperors have tried and failed to grow their power and influence through colonization. Time will tell if the empire expands or retracts, thrives or dies. That is actually something I tried to do in Deerwood, which worked for a little while, but then the Deerwoodans, which were former Adirans, actually gained their independence. That was from the first game. Amina, good to meet you.
We spoke on the voyage. Never thought we'd end up like this. I've been here before. We've got an outpost on this island, but...
Oh, it takes 3 out of 3 intel to see that this place is abandoned. This place is, I'm gonna say that, this place is abandoned.
Maybe better off if it were. I saw flashes, Envoy. It weren't the storm that wrecked our ship. It was cannon fire. And it could only have come from that fort up the hill. It makes no sense. No one fires on their own countrymen, unless...
This is Vanguard Scout. That's my background. Scout. That's my background, so I could say that. And I am going to say that. Unless the fort's been infiltrated by enemy agents.
That's what I'm afraid of too. In the meantime, you survived. That means we're not scuppered yet. As long as you're here, the Emperor's mission can still go ahead.
We have to get to the mainland.
Couldn't agree more. Adir's got an embassy in the port of Paradise. Once we make it there, we can regroup, figure out what to do next. I hate to say it, but the fort's probably our only chance of escape. We need supplies, and if our troops have been captured, they'll need our help.
Look at this, cause yeah, Paradise is here. Paradise is a city on the coast of Dawnshore, and the de facto capital of the Living Lands. The city's governed by a claviger, or is it claviger? I'm not sure. A custodian who keeps the peace through cunning rather than bureaucracy. I'm gonna say, we'll do what we can for them. Let's go.
Those boards up there look old. A good hit and we can be on our way. Take that axe. It's no good to any of our crew anymore.
I'm an axe, one-handed. The health potion.
At least some supplies survived. For all the good it does.
Equip weapon.
You look like a dab hand with that. I don't understand. Why would they fire on us, their own people? No use wondering. We've got to make sure our troops are safe.
Health is low. Drink a potion via the action radial. Swing with average speed, delivering moderately high damage and stun. However, they have only moderate block efficiency and incur a moderate stamina cost when attacking. How do I put this away? Let's to block. To attack. It'll tell us how to sheath our weapon and
Going for a swim after all that?
spaces dodge. You know what though? I like that to a mouse button. Right. Jump park. Okay. So I'm gonna keep that because maybe that I'll probably when I jump I'll want to do that. But also want to set it to a mouse button because yeah, when I'm dodging I like that better. Jumping I like that better, even though it's the same thing.
Ah, well, don't suppose they were using that either.
Makeshift grave. Words etched into the wood read, "Here lies Emmeline, man-at-arms, bravest of us." Here lies Britt, faithful quartermaster, served Nemnock to the end. Ah, Nemnock the imp from Deadfire. God imp. Silver Fennings. Alabaster. 5 health regen. Wonder if we have any scaly white fish common to the seas surrounding the living lands. Oh, okay, so this is the letter from the Emperor. Berkening. Envoy. Our ambassador in the living lands sent warning of unrest and brewing conflict to the port city of Paradis. Most worrisome of all are the rumors of the Dream Scourge, a plague that corrupts its victims in body and soul. The court of Adir is much disturbed by these unwelcome developments, any of which could threaten the stability of our interests in the future. Therefore you, Amina, are named a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire who travels with the authority of the throne. We grant you the privilege and immunity to dispense our laws as you see fit, and to remove all obstacles by any means. Find the root of this plague and burn it out. Like how Emperor thinks that he can give us carte blanche to do whatever we want and that does not belong to the Empire. Okay, there's a journal. Quest tabs of the journal displays every quest you have acquired grouped by region. Main story quests will always be at the top, followed by side quests, companion quests, bounties, and treasure maps. This icon next to the quest indicates that it will be a higher challenge based on your currently equipped gear. Press F to toggle complete quests. Okay. So Garrick believes the soldiers at the near outpost can help. Make your way off the beach and inquire there. Still have an exclamation point. Tutorials. Something about me. I hate when there are exclamation points, so maybe I'll go through all of these at some point, not on camera though. Climb things. Up here though. It's like one of those things from the intro. That gross intro. Breaking horns. Rooted plant with violet tentacles blossoming outwards. The flower of the plant is rough and spiny, resembling a sea monster rather than a plant. Like its namesake, it's often found underwater. Namesake would be Kraken, which do exist in this world. You fight one in the first game. How many people kill that thing? No way I'm gonna do that. Really cute. I do not know what this animal would be though. Like these?
No! The fort's lit their distress beacon. We've got to hurry.
We have a compass in the upper left, like a little mini-map thing. Well, it's actually not a mini-map, it's just got some things that blue, enemies are red, removables. Okay. Beacon, fire.
Sarah shouldn't be here. Haven't the troops been doing patrols? Now you've seen it.
First combat. Beating up some Zorops. Looks like some Zorp paw prints. Some kind of Zorp that's floating over a killed Kith, I guess, and that looks like a Zorp high priest there. Zorps often worship drakes and dragons. I don't know if there's anything here, but a lot of their decorations and stuff have to do with dragons. Like, I don't know, maybe that's a tooth of a drake or something like that right there. Not sure though. Skane bone, named after a god. These small blue-gray cap mushrooms are typically found growing near communes and rebel camps, which has earned them an association with the quiet slave Skane. Quiet slave is the nickname for the god Skane. There, I don't know. And though. Let's see. Jump on this. Can't do that.
Come on, the fort's up ahead. Tripwire!
Tripwires can be disarmed by interacting with the ends of the wire.
Good hands.
If there's any check that happens there, or if we just notice it, then these are the holes that arrows shoot out of if we trip the tripwire.
How many of these damn things are there? Springberries, good. Those should rally us.
Springberries. Found in tall, distinctively shaped shrubs, these large pink berries are both sweet and medicinal. They're likely to be found in well-traveled areas. That is the first thing that we have to find in the first Pillars game. That's our first quest, to find some springberries. Thank you, Zelda, A Link to the Past, for making sure to try to find out if there's something behind every waterfall. Disappointing. I'm hoping. Oh, there we go. There's something up still. Apology. I cannot go on. I hear their cries. The only comfort left to me is to die in my own terms with my senses still intact. May the burned queen forgive me for surrendering my oath, protect my comrades, and surrendering her gift of flesh. I only hope the next turn of the wheel delivers me from what I have witnessed, never to hold a lance again. Burned queen. Is that Mogren or is that Woodica? That is Woodica. The only comfort left to me is to die in my own terms with my senses still intact. May the burned queen forgive me for sundering my... Oh, I should have known that because we're talking about breaking an oath. Oh, I can't pick it up. Dagger. Fort Northreach. Yeah.
Gods, it's a bloodbath. They've torn the place apart from the inside. Did they? Were they fighting each other? Envoy, I don't like this.
It says it unlocks with a Fort Northreach storage key. I wonder if there is a way to lock in this game, or pick locks in this game. Origins notes. Gondendag 3. Lowell visited for a third time this week. Comes nearly every day now. Says insects keep crawling on him. Asks for an unguent that will help repel them. I've inspected him every time and found no evidence of bites. Abrasions from scratching get worse. Koningsdag 4. Siblin brought in by Emmerich in Gladenfall. Found her unconscious near an empty bottle of sleeping draught. Administered a medic. Once she felt well enough to talk, complained of hallucinations every time she closed her eyes. May Queenstock 5. Raorden shows signs of malnourishment, refuses food, claims Emmerich's trying to poison him. Must discuss this with the captains. Why these behavioral changes? Is it the Audra? Starting to think I should sleep with my lancet at night. So it seems like these are the beginnings of some kind of the dream scourge that they're talking about. It's causing some kind of hallucinations, maybe? That is. They alive?
What's that on their face?
Okay, this guy's got fungal growths coming out of him. Prepared food. This is a wonderful savory broth filled to the brim with vegetables and aromatic spices to make a stew that warms you from the inside out. 70 health regen and essence regen.
I remember some of the soldiers praying around that Audra pillar. Hope it helped their souls find the beyond.
We rise from slumber. Is it you?
Okay. This is Audra. Very important resource in Eora. It is capable of transporting and holding soul essence. And once we got close to this, we heard a voice in our head. Pillars of Eternity. Huh. Audra is a green crystal found throughout the known world, emerging from the crust of Eora in the shape of iconic pillars. We cherish Audra, build our temples around it, study its potential as an energy source. But Audra is so much more. When we die, Audra is the road on which our souls travel into the beyond. When our souls are ready to return, Audra shines a lantern guiding us from death into life. When you find yourself in the presence of Audra, take a moment to ponder your place in the Great Wheel. Consider who you were, who you are, who you can be. So a temple here that has been built around Audra. Journal and continue. Huh. I wonder what that does. So in the Documents tab of the journal, allow you to refer to significant writings you find in your journey. Documents are sorted by region. Okay, so that gives us some lore. That's cool. Roasted chicken. The delicious roasted chicken, a simple staple that can be served in a wide variety of dishes. Storage key. Simple key bearing an Adirian scepter crest, clearly newer than the outpost. So I'm going to go back there. think let us add this. Common breastplate. The heavier armor, the greater your stability against incoming attacks, but probably causes us to swing our weapon a little slower. That would be my guess anyway. Your armor type, light, medium, or heavy, affects the intensity and recovery time of your actions to enemy attacks. It's much better. This is medium armor. I'm going to put it on. Heals have very high block efficiency. Block with very low stamina costs. They can be equipped in your offhand. That. Egg screw. Is this the cannon that shot at us? So. Mad soldiers rambling. Another dream last night. Mushrooms growing out in my breastplate. Tear them out, tear them out. Whoever finds this. Roots grow from the head. Roots grow from the head.
Roots? Why is she talking about roots? Is this what they were like? It's put its guard up. Hit it with everything you've got.
Ooh. Door up here. If you hold and release. Okay. Makes sense. Oh. Oh, there's something else here. And that can break a guard too. For the course. Ooh.
Thought I had your back. Guess you've got mine.
Cave here. Orcs get here after all these people died?
there's a way to clear those brambles.
Packet? No, burnable. Certain barriers can be burned with fire damage. Some spells, abilities, weapons naturally occurring in Malgrim's Fury produce fire damage.
Is someone there? Over here! Help! I'm locked in! About time. Oh gods! What's the matter with your face? Stay back. I'm not catching whatever's on your head.
Easy. She's a godlike.
You mean a god gave you that face? Touched your soul and everything?
That's right.
Never seen one of your kind before. I always heard folks say you were blessed. Looks more like a curse to me.
Sure. Godlikes are rare individuals whose souls are touched by gods at birth. Quirks of their appearance reflect the nature of their patron deity, such as feathers, horns, or flames. Over the last few years, many of the godlike in Eora died under mysterious circumstances. Not you. In Pillars 2, we also learned that godlike are kind of like a backup plan for the gods as well. They can inhabit them or draw power from them if needed. Down, I've been through enough today.
Oh, you think you're having a time of it? At least you're not in a cell.
That's the Imperial Envoy you're talking to. Show some respect.
The Imperial? Shite, I should have known you were a Deerans too. Funny you survived while all your friends here went belly up.
We almost didn't. We were shipwrecked.
One less Aderan ship, as far as I'm concerned. Adir's had their boot on Paradise since their first soldiers came.
'Cause the place is pure chaos.
Did you not think we liked it that way? I have to smuggle just to get anything past your damn checkpoints.
Adir does have a presence here, and I guess they're trying to take control of it. Creating checkpoints and stuff. This person doesn't care for that. Wondering if she is Bothan or Red Saren. I had nothing to do with that. Can't you give me the benefit of the doubt?
I'm trying. Your friend's the one picking a fight with me.
Paradisans will knife you in the back over a dirty look.
At least we don't go mad and slaughter each other.
Jesus. Listen. The soldiers have had the soul plague that Emperor sent me to investigate.
The day I came, I noticed the guards talking gibberish. Then the killing started. They went wild. Stabbed their mates in their sleep.
It almost sounds like they were rabid.
I told you, they weren't right. When the storm came, they fired the cannons. Their faces changed. That soldier in here tried to strangle me. I had to defend myself.
Storm? When the storm came, they fired the cannons, their faces changed. So was it connected to the weather, too? Narrow my eyes. The storm made them go.
I've got a bad feeling about this. It doesn't make sense. What if she murdered that soldier and she's just trying to cover it up?
Let's hear her out before we decide.
Look, we don't have to like each other, but we can all get out alive. I left my boat at the edge of the island. It should still be there.
You'd help two Adirans. After all that.
Doesn't look like I have a choice, eh? You let me out, and all three of us can go to Paradise.
Envoy. I've tangled with paradisant smugglers before. She'd say just about anything to get out that cell. Her story's full of holes. What if the boat's not there? What if she turns on us?
For fuck's sake, be reasonable. Don't listen to him.
No. I don't like either of them. Garrick seems racist towards any paradisant. But she, I don't know, might not be telling the truth either. Let's go find that key, Garrick.
It's in the warden's room. They blocked it off when things went south. You can find a way in, though. You seem smart.
If we live to regret this...
Get stuff in there. Gate and health potion. Boiled cabbage and spoiled cucumber. This cabbage is wilted and rotted. The leaves feel greasy and fragile in your hand. Oops, I ate it. I didn't mean to click on it. That was dumb. Got food poisoning. Crap. Oops. Soon it gets. Man, lasts for a while. Essence potion. Scent both acrid and floral, wafts from this purple liquid that restores the reserves of one inner power when imbibed. So that's how we get our essence back. Let's see how much that. Okay. Decent amount. Interrogation log. Day 1. Prisoner apprehended at loading dock outside Fort Northreach, detained immediately under suspicion of extra-legal activity. Moved to holding cell within the fort for further questioning. Demeanor sullen and defiant. Refused to verbally engage with guards. That's... forget her name. Day 2. Prisoner offered standard rations and water. Told guard to perform obscene activity with the food. Second guard performed routine patrol 2 hours later and observed that the rations had nonetheless been eaten. Day 3, prisoner questioned about the purpose of her visit to Fort Northreach, admitted she came to move some goods, refused to specify what kind, denied any connection to the Paradisant rebels, but expressed clear contempt for Idir, sympathy for the rebel cause. When pressed, told interrogator to go away and eat shite. Disciplined accordingly, returned to holding cell. There's nothing damning there, I mean... nice, but she's in prison, so that's understandable. Not like a Mythra kid there. Upper skate, health potion, 2 pelts, common robe. key. This is the barred door. Okay. Wanted to see if we could there. Brambles are that burn. Ah, okay, so that's why it was telling me how to switch loadouts. Need arrows in this game? Okay. Aim your bow, press to shoot.
There's an idea. We can shoot the Fury down. How's your aim?
Oh, okay, so we... that thing. Okay. Which... that's... okay. Oh. Be able to get in there or not.
At least you got around to trusting me eventually.
Fine. She's out. Now we should move. We gotta burn through those brambles.
Berlin, maybe that's why Garrick was so upset by it. How do I get in there? Later.
Nice work.
Oh, that was it. You get close to the fire and you start losing.
Now you've done it.
You're gonna regret this.
The other one. I gotta shoot him. looks like it.
Adheran soldiers don't massacre each other. They just don't. Something caused this. To think they turned on each other like dogs. I can't fathom it.
They were bastards when they came here. All it took was time.
But Adherans, we respect each other. We're raised to follow the rules.
What's the matter? Upset your kin are no better than anyone else.
Sword. Eat one of these spring bear. I wonder if that number 15 is the time or the amount that it regen. It said 15 health regen.
Stay wished. Stay in the tall grass. We can get the drop on them.
Crouch, sneak up on enemies, utilize cover grass to obscure yourself while crouching. Nearby an unaware enemy, press click. Oop. Oh, that's okay. Okay.
Why? Did your god give you that power too?
More coming. Stay down and don't get us killed.
I don't think you can hit your... Enemies have a stun meter below their health bar. Okay. Sorry, I was reading something. Enemies have a stun meter below their health bar. Attacking enemies will build up their stun. A massive attack. Click for an attack. Okay. Select your first ability. I want to go magic, so I'm going to take minor missiles. 25 essence, cool down 10 seconds. And then 3, which they called it Minaletta's minor missiles, but okay. When you level up, you'll be awarded ability points that can be spent to purchase or upgrade abilities, cast abilities via the action radio, or from quick slots. Abilities require essence to cast. Your essence meter is the purple bar below your health bar. Punish essence by drinking essence. Alright, so 1 is my missiles. And I am just taking this all in here. This world is gorgeous. Thorn fruit. Prickly fruit covered in spiny skin, it can be found pocking meadows and plains. Despite its offensive exterior, the fruit inside is bright and refreshing, prized by animancers who enjoy a challenge of extracting the delicate interior. Let's see if there's any secrets. a nest or something. Deerskin boots. Deerskin boots are standard for rangers moving quietly in the forest. Not only are they soft and durable, their hide is also strong enough to fend off thorns and other hazardous flora in the living lands. How do I compare? It's transmogrified though. Oh, maybe like if you click transmogrify, then it turns to look, but doesn't actually equip them. It's like there's no difference here between the deerskin boots and the messenger boots. No difference combat-wise, I mean. There's a storm on the horizon there?
Hope you did better with that grimoire than he did.
Shame it didn't have a healing spell.
What is this here? I want to try and cast an ice spell on him?
Damn it. Of course I didn't bring a flint.
Rock. Leave is liquor. Yep, alcoholic drink. Sweet syrupy liqueur made from palm sap, sugarcane, or fruit. No agreed upon definition of Arak, and the distilling process varies greatly from region to region, as does the flavor. Seems like you can call a lot of things Arak. I also just noticed something new in my character screen. Shows your stats. Attribute bonuses will cap out after a certain point. And also reset all your attribute points for currency. On the right side of the screen is a comprehensive summary of your character's statistics, including your background level damage. Okay. So when I leveled up, did I get a point or something? Yes, I did. Go with might, so I do damage whether casting spells or. This potion. I'm in Grimoire of the.
Hope there's a fire spell in there. It'd make quick work.
Grimoires enable a variety of spells to be cast or unlocked. Wizard tree. They can only be equipped in your offhand. Hold and press 1, 2, 3, 4 to cast a spell. Okay, so the other spells are on the bottom there. I'm gonna guess that's fan flames, ice spears, lightning, and some kind of shield. How can I find out what the spells are? Here? Still consumes essence. Okay. I know what those spells are.
Mugren's Fury in the book.
Nice. Oh, and we have a common wand. There we go. I want that. Let's not use essence. Cool. Okay.
got the high ground. How should we do this? Magic's the flashy choice, I suppose.
Guess they have to be close to get that one.
Stay low and tick quick. See, you're gonna regret this.
Oh, cool. That's like a chain lightning spell. Whoa! Gotta keep an eye on my stamina. It was fun though. I like the magic. These little essence wisps, I think, give me more
I've
essence.
seen ruins like these. Wonder what they are. Maybe nobody knows.
Paradisans call them godless. Some kind of people who came here long ago.
Our first mention of the godless. Copper skate, essence potion. You can drop those on things too. Good to know. Wonder if I could have, if I had seen that early, if like there was a grouping of them that I could have cast it on. I could have dropped it on. Some more Audra here. A lot of Audra.
They're not.
I should probably do that. Is there a quick save? There is. 5 is a quick save. Nice. I'm shimmering around here. It's down there.
I tried to tell them. Why wouldn't they listen? You can't kill me. No one can kill me. I'll swim across the sea.
I knew it. Whatever's on their faces, it gets into their heads.
I'm no expert on soul plagues, but whatever you came here to find, I'd say you found it.
So yeah, it looks like this guy is infected. I get why you're scared of my face.
It's uncanny.
No, it isn't. You're a godlike. He's... well, look at him. He's sick.
Who disturbs us?
You kill those soldiers.
They stung at me. They wanted to prune my boughs. I was defending myself.
Steady yourself, please. We're only trying to help.
You're wasting your breath. He's gone.
You tread in the orchard.
Okay, so that's 2 mentions. There's an orchard, and he said, you want to prune my boughs. So either they think they're plants, or this is some other being speaking through him, and the boughs are in the orchard are like these people who are infected. You can't understand us, can you?
Spreading weeds. Nightmares. I should have been free to drink of the land. They thought they could stop me. Vipers! Their venom stains my blade.
He can barely string a thought together. How could he have killed everyone?
He couldn't. Not like this. He's just the last one standing.
Trespassers!
Thought it could be rabid, but it doesn't manifest this way.
Shackles. They would bind us. We only sustain ourselves. And you return death to us.
Envoy, this could come to blows. Keep your guard up.
Feed the roots. Kill the rot.
Now you've done it.
You're gonna regret this.
It's like a shield. Okay, need essence potion. Oh.
Probably some noble who bought his commission. Now look at him.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but at least he's not suffering.
Back. Senior officer's orders and a common great hander. Or great hammer. Stedman Ralk. Yesterday I received word that one of your scouts was caught in Dawnshore attempting to board a cargo ship bound for the Deadfire. I doubt this is news to you. I also doubt you are unaware that this is your 3rd incidence of desertion in the past month. I realize your post grants you greater responsibility than your position as a 3rd son accustomed to, but there will be consequences if you cannot keep your troops in line. The Emperor is watching. See to it that you impress the importance of duty upon your charges. Commander Hilden Vintebrand. So that was a Diran commander, and Stedman Ralk was a Diran. Add to journal and continue. Got that great hammer, deal extremely high damage and stun. Okay. Soul Sponge. A mushroom that absorbs dew and infuses the moisture with its own edible spores. When squeezed, the fungus releases an invigorating secretion that's said to bolster one's soul, often accompany the dead in areas blighted with recent sickness. Yep, that tracks. Get essence potion and 4 pelts. Pelts are upgrade materials. I haven't looked at it yet, so pelts. Strip skin of a slain beast. This pelt retains the fur of the animal. Pelts like this find use throughout Eora in clothing, armors, and other crafted goods. Agate is we can just sell it at any vendor for a high price. Agates are common in Eora and are often prized by jewelers for their bright colors. Their considerable hardness also makes them suitable for a variety of practical applications. The mountains and canyons near Dawnshore used to be teeming with these stones, but far fewer are found these days. It came from here. Okay. Nope, I came from here. What was that little kid? Sprinting doesn't use stamina. I wonder if it does if you're in battle. What's in the Godless? Formed from the field notebook of Jada Tendir, captain of the Adiran Expedition Corps. The expedition team and I have been weeks at the fort now, and I'm no closer to understanding the ruins of these so-called godless people than I was before we came. The remnants of their culture cover the living lands, but the people, their beliefs, their history, it all remains a mystery. The godless are so named because nothing we have seen in their art or architecture depicts the gods as we understand them. I'd expect a maritime culture to have a deep relationship to Andra, and a number of unique cultural rituals with which to venerate and placate her. Gallowayne, too, they should fear and favor given the aggressive wilderness of this land. And I have never explored a corner of Eora that did not recognize the centrality of Bereth to the cycles of their lives. It's as if these people had no relationship to the gods, as if they did not know the gods at all. But that can't be. They gave birth and died as all kith do. They sought shade in long, hot days of deep summer and shelter in the bitter days of winter. They fed themselves, they bathed, they made clothing and baskets and pots. So many beautiful pots. Pots that only a people who recognized and valued beauty would make. Without the gods, how would they give meaning to their lives? To understand the purpose of their ruins, I must know what drove them, what they revered and reviled, what they desired. They lived here. They lived well. They did not order their lives as we do, not orient themselves always towards the gods, and they disappeared. No matter how many bones and potsherds I sift through, I sift through, I cannot quite grasp the implications here. I fear the revelations of the godless have been interred deep beneath this island's soil, beyond what even emperors, most skillful miners can beyond what even the emperor's most skillful miners can unearth. Some immortal hands not understand this place. That terrifies me. So skip ahead a little bit if you don't want spoilers for the first Pillars of Eternity, but we, as the Watcher, found out that the gods as we know them on Eora were actually created by an ancient race called the Ingwithans. This person doesn't seem to know that. They're talking about the gods, and like they can't believe that they wouldn't worship the same gods as they do, that kind of thing. Seeming like they believe that the same gods you worship in the Deerwood or the Adiran Empire are the same gods that they would worship across the whole world, but that's not necessarily true. And we even meet somebody in the second game, Reke, who's from a place called Yezua, who only worships one god, and we don't really learn much about that, but there are places that worship other gods. So this idea of godless, It seems like it's a name from, maybe it's from the Aediran Empire or from anybody who worships the Eoran, the traditional Eoran pantheon of gods. And when I say traditional, I mean like for us here on Earth, traditional because it's the same gods we've been hearing about for those of Eternity 1 and 2 and now this game. And this person seems to call them godless because they don't seem to be worshiping one of those gods. They mention Andra, who is like the god of the sea, and one of the things you can do is throw things to the sea to forget things. So she is also a goddess of forgetfulness. Galawain is a god of trials and nature, and Berith is the god of the cycles of life and death. So they're wondering why we don't see hints of worship of those gods here, rather some other type of god that they are calling godless. I wish that would go into my journal. I wonder why it doesn't. Skate, health potion. Softwood branch is an upward grade material and a pelt.
Closer, we twine.
We twine. Lady, despite their humble appearance, these small brown mushrooms are prized for their taste. Their caps are round and distinctively shaped with small circular depressions dotting the surface. Found alongside funeral pyres and campfires, they seek homes in intense heat.
Roach! There it is.
Thank the gods it's still here. Get on.
There, in the distance. It's Paradise. So, the smuggler wasn't lying.
My name's Eora, you know.
Glad we took a chance on you.
Thanks. I've enjoyed not being dead.
Look, if this is the soul plague the Emperor sent you to find, we have to stop it. You have to stop it, no matter what it takes.
I'd heard rumors about folk changing out in the hinterlands. I thought they were just that. You know, stories. I never imagined it'd be like this.
Everything leaves a trail. I'll follow the plague back to its source.
I don't know how, but if anyone can find a way, it's you.
Will you get on before I leave without you?
Aye, onward to Paradise. Never thought I'd be glad to sail here with a smuggler.
If anyone asks, you never met me.
Ring of rocks around this place here. Guess that's the ship we took to get here. Quite a few.
This is your final warning, Kai. One more, and I put a bullet. Hey! Turn around and sail back to wherever you came from. This dock is reserved for the Imperial Envoy. And she's late. Probably died at sea. Good riddance.
Name's Amina. Is that about good riddance?
Ugh, shit.
Nice.
Forgive me, Envoy. I meant nothing by it. A slip of the tongue. Can we start over? Name's Cynric, captain of the local militia. We're a scrappy bunch, but we know our way around Paradise. Unlike most Adirans who couldn't find their ass with both their hands. Oh, present company excluded. They told me you were godlike, but I didn't know what to expect. Your face, it's so...
Well, it shows you that there is something here that you could say if we had the resolve. Gorgeous, elegant, authoritative.
You're doing great.
Forgive me, again. We're having a bit of an emergency. No doubt you've come for the Adiran ambassador, but he's gone, along with our claviger.
Claviger. Word I couldn't pronounce before. If it was claviger or claviger. Claviger is the Paradisian equivalent to a governor. Unlike most bureaucrats, the claviger is unelected and often hostile toward official procedures. Instead, they are informally chosen from among those who know the city best, tasked with maintaining Paradise, defending it, and reining in its worst impulses. What'd she say? No doubt you've come for the Adiran ambassador, but he's gone along with Claviger. Who or what is the Claviger?
Well, he's the closest thing we have to a local authority. Part keeper of the keys, part bald fist.
Paradise's mayor, more or less. Most people out here aren't fond of established hierarchies and titles. So, we made up some new ones.
Not a problem. Which way did the ambassador go?
They traveled northwest to the Strangle Route, past the old Pargroon Wall.
You need to find the ambassador, and I need to find the claviger. How's about we partner up?
Okay. Pargroon. Nice lore here. The Pargroonen are a subculture of the Optapo mountain dwarves. Well, not the it's Optapo, or also known as mountain dwarves. Known as keen explorers and faithful defenders of their traditions, they settled in the Living Land centuries ago, forging a new homeland in the region of Galawain's Tusks. And we have Falchion Hilgard. Falchion Hilgard is an Adiran ambassador dispatched to the Living Lands on a mission of peace and mutual cooperation. Sounds like propaganda to me. His headquarters are located in the Adiran embassy in the city of Paradise. It was about you introduce yourself first.
Name's Kai. I've been a soldier, a sailor, and a halfway decent baritone.
He's a troublemaker, but a damn qualified one at least.
I knew you had a soft spot for me.
What business do you have with the Claviger?
Claviger Amond helped me get on my feet when I came to Paradise a few years ago. Last time we spoke, he sounded worried about things. If he's gotten himself into trouble, I owe it to him to help out.
I trust you.
If there's one thing you can say about Rowatayans, we're no backstabbers. We handle our disagreements face to face, with lots of yelling and violence. You'll vouch for me, right, Captain?
Better to have him and not need him, I guess.
That's the nicest thing you've said about me all day.
Kai, before you go, the Envoy is no stranger to the wilderness, but you and I both know the Living Lands can be, unpredictable. Make sure she comes back alive, or the Steel Garrote will have my head.
Better yours than mine.
Ah, there. Okay. Rauatai is the nation east of the Living Lands, settled long ago by Aumaua fleeing the Deadfire Archipelago. The kingdom is known for its military strength and adherence to nationalistic identity. Rauatai and the Royal Deadfire Company were a faction that you could join and, I guess, be a part of in second Pillars of Eternity game. We have the Living Lands, or a vast island home to wild ecosystems and undiscovered mysteries. Settlers from across Eora came in search of fortune, adventure, and prosperity. Global powers view the Living Lands as the gateway to the east, a ripe prospect for future expansion. That's what Yadira is doing here. And finally, the Steel Garrote. It's an order of paladins fiercely devoted to Boudica, goddess of law and discipline. Known for their cruelty and determination, the Steel Garrote will stop at nothing to hunt down oathbreakers, deserters, and heretics. They are led by Inquisitor Ludwin. Ludwin was in Deadfire. Second game, Deadfire. Before I head out, what's this about the Steel Garrote?
The Steel Garrote are here as guests, helping Adirans like yourself keep the peace. Or so they say.
Situation here must be dire if the Garrote's involved.
That's certainly what they'd like you to believe. Sounds like their reputation back home in Adir isn't any better than it is here.
Never met a Steel Garrote paladin in the flesh.
They're an order of religious cutthroats, sharpening their blades for the glory of the burned queen. Oof, creepy bunch, too. Who needs enemies when you have friends like the Steel Garrote?
What are they doing here?
You tell me, Envoy. The Adirans came to our shores with their soldiers, their bureaucrats, and their cult of murderers. Asking a lot of nosy questions is a good way to end up with a knife in your back. Speaking of the Steel Garrote, fair warning, their leader, Inquisitor Ludwin, is eager to greet you. Or possibly interrogate you.
Oh, okay, so we have Boudica here too, also known as the Burned Queen, Strangler, Oathbinder, and the Queen that was, is the goddess of justice, law, oaths, promises, rulership, vengeance, memory, and hierarchies. She's depicted as an old noblewoman bearing a broken crown. Steel Garrote paladins worship Boudica, and some say do her bidding. And that flag, the purple and yellow flag with the mace, I believe was a Boudican flag. Wrong. Maybe I'm making myself look stupid saying that, but I think it was. And then we have Inquisitor Ludwin, who's the leader of the Steel Garrote Paladins. She fell in battle in the Deadfire Archipelago and later returned as a Death Guard. Relentless and uncompromising, Ludwin strikes fear in the hearts of her enemies. I was wondering how they would deal with that because I killed Ludwin in Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. And I don't think, obviously, I'm not the only person. It's a quest that's set up so that if you are playing as a good character, you are going to get in a fight with her and kill her. And so she returned as a Death Guard, which is a vessel, like a undead. Maybe we will learn a little bit more about them. So I won't say anything more about Death Guards now, but that is really cool that that's what they did with her. So she is returned as a Death Guard and probably much more fearsome than she was in Pillars of Eternity 2. First things first, I have to find the ambassador.
You do that. Just don't keep her waiting. I heard she's a monster, the personal handmaiden of the Burned Queen. But that's not all. They say she fell in battle in the Deadfire, and death spat her back out.
So cool. We don't have anything for the Burned Queen, so I guess that just leads to Boudica. The Deadfire Archipelago is an expansive region known for its volcanic islands and treacherous seas. 3 years ago, the god Aethys rampaged across the Deadfire in the body of an Adra Colossus, where he did lasting damage to the ancient ruins of Ukaizo. Consequences of his rampage are a topic of spiritual uncertainty, fear. If you played Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire, you know what happened there. I'm wondering if I should say that now. Yeah, I'll go into this right now, and if you don't want to know, then I'll put a time on screen that you can skip to. But at the end of Deadfire, we met with Aethys, who was in Ukaizo, which was a city lost behind a storm called Andra's Mortar that nobody had been to, and I don't even know how many years. We were able to get there. So was Aethys, who had inhabited this enormous colossal body of Audra and Copper. And he was destroying the wheel, which is the mechanism that creates the cycle of reincarnation, that eases the cycle of reincarnation. And he destroyed it, which means that souls that were in the beyond at the time would be re-inhabited into bodies in the world, but any other souls that died from this point on would not be reintroduced, which means either after a while Kith will die out, or we will have to find something else to do. And this game takes place in the aftermath of that. Any idea what she wants with me, Visitor Ludwig?
That's none of my business, and let's keep it that way.
We'll have time to worry about Ludwig later.
Great, something to look forward to.
First, we've got to find your ambassador and my claviger.
A new companion, Kai is a seasoned soldier and mercenary from the Rautian Empire. Restless but affable, his wandering has led him to the living lands in search of peace. Of a peace he has yet to find. As an experienced and battle-tested veteran, Kai can withstand damage and draw enemy aggression. His incendiary ammunition can burn away flammable obstacles. His abilities are Fire and Ire. Kai fires a powerful shot from a blunderbuss, dealing high stun to a single enemy and taunting them for 10 seconds. Or Firestarter, order Kai to burn away webs, brambles, or other flammable obstacles.
I'll bet you're glad to be on dry land after that voyage. Come on, let's get you some fresh air.
Oh, an awful stench.
Hey guys, I'll see ya.
Look, I'll no thank you for showing basic decency, but you saved my life. That counts for something. To me, anyway.
What will you do after this?
Try to survive. Same thing I do every day. There are always crews looking for hands. I'll find more work somewhere.
Do all the locals dislike adherents?
Not all of them, but it's not a great way to make friends. Give Paradisans a chance. That's why they came here in the first place.
Does that say Paradis? No, Paradis. Anything I should know about Paradis?
Try not to get killed. Nah, I'm kidding. Just don't go around acting like you own the place. All right?
Bye.
Hope we don't run into each other. Still, take care of yourself.
Suppose this is where I leave you then. I owe you my life, Envoy. I won't soon forget what you did.
What do you do now?
I don't know. It's all just sinking in. I hope the folks at the embassy know where to find a good, strong drink.
Where do I find the embassy?
You don't have to. Just go up the pier. I imagine they've sent someone official-like to take you there.
I guess
Must be
I'm
nice, eh?
probably supposed to talk to them before I talk to Kai and the other one. Forget her name. But I thought they were still with me, so I didn't turn around to talk to them. Anything I should look out for in Paradis?
Well, it's the Living Land's biggest port. People come from all over. Not all of them are Adir's friends.
Wonder why?
You'll be fine. After the fort, I figure you can survive anything.
Bye, Garrick. Good luck.
Same to you. You'll make the Emperor proud. I'm sure of it.
Hey, guys. This is Kai. So, Kai is Almauen. You can see he is tall. He's got some scaly skin. Laura is she elven? Yes, she is an elf. And Garrick is Orlin. They are often furry, not all the time, but often furry. You see them growing here, and they are often considered wild. There's a lot of Orlin racism in Eora. Paradise Militia.
Sincere apologies, Envoy. Welcome to the Living Lands.
I wonder if there's a way. I'm going to see. Is there a way to switch between first and third person view? I believe there is. We do that. Button for it. Let's see what happens here. It's a fast travel point.
Pogrunin left these beacons all over the island. They're good for finding your way around.
Oh, Pergrunin put these. It's interesting. Here's a map. The map screen shows topological maps in the region of the Living Lands and their settlements. Exploring the Living Lands will gradually fill out your map screen with more geographic detail in the areas you've traversed. Also mark the points of interest in other details like quests, stores, area transitions, party camps, and fast travel beacons. So there's little icons for each. You can fast travel directly to fast travel beacons and party camps by interacting with the icons on the map. Tracked quest objectives are marked on the map with this icon. Untracked quest objectives are also marked on the map with that icon. So you don't have to actually be tracking it to show up on the map. Just right click while hovering over an untracked quest objective to tracked quest. Okay. Okay, so it kind of fills out. So we see we've only walked on this dock and that has filled out for us, and the rest of it is just kind of a sketch. The fighter ability tree focuses on overwhelming combat force. It can be tailored towards dealing high damage with axes, maces, and weapons. It also includes abilities that help with stamina management, traversal, crowd control, and blocking with shields. Bet if I click on this, Ranger tree focuses on agility and finesse. It contains abilities tailored towards ranged combat and rapid one-handed melee attacks. It also includes abilities that improve resource gathering, movement speed, stealth, and precision aim. Sounds fun. Wizard. Focusing on spellcasting. Tailored towards wands, grimoires, and elemental elements. That's ice, fire, lightning, and poison. I think it's actually called corrosion in Eora. And essence management. Of note is Grimoire Mastery, a passive ability that unlocks the ability to cast higher level spells contained in grimoires. Investing ability points in Grimoire Mastery also allows you to permanently unlock those higher level spells even without a grimoire equipped, adding them to the action radial. It's fun. Another ability tree, Godlike. The Godlike ability tree contains abilities innate to you as a Godlike. These abilities will be unlocked at key moments in your journey and will be different depending on the choices you make. Oh, cool. Okay. So you don't choose these then. You don't choose the Godlike ability. Then we have Kai. Companion ability tree contains the abilities of your recruited companions. When your companions level up, you'll be able to spend companion ability points to purchase or upgrade their abilities. You may also spend currency to reset companion ability points. Do I have a point here? Oh, yeah, I do. So that is Fire and Ire. Upgrade. That is Unbending Defense. Kai steals his mind to regenerate health and increases damage reduction by 5%. So they can lose health, so I wonder if they just get like knocked down for a Leap of Daring. With a mighty leap, Kai crashes down on the enemy, stunning and taunting all enemies nearby. And when Kai's health reduces 0, he revives himself by restoring 50% of a maximum. Okay. Now me, do I have any points? No, I don't have. So I think, yeah. So level 1, it gave me the option to get these first ones, and I chose the minor missiles. Okay. Got it.
The city's getting crowded. Pretty soon the Adirans will outnumber us 3 to 1.
Why doesn't the Clavager put a stop to it?
What do you think, dimwit? He's nice and cozy in the ambassador's pocket. That's enough for now. We got a listener.
Hey! You better watch your step.
Keep walking, Outlander.
If they'll continue talking. Sparrowhawk wastrel.
Piss off. Haven't you heard it's not polite to stare?
Yago the Seawolf.
Watch where you're going. Wouldn't want you getting...
Okay, so you can lockpick. So you either need the warehouse key or you need 3 lockpicks. You could probably make that less. Like in the Pillars games, you could make that less with like a mechanics skill. It's a quest there.
Please, how hard is it to answer a question?
I don't trifle with souls, man.
They're tearing my home apart. Never mind.
I already told her I don't want to be involved.
This is Dehengen.
I can't believe how rude everyone is around here.
I don't think Dawnshore is much for Knights at Ace.
It wouldn't kill them to think about it, at least. How hard could it be to find a watcher?
Ooh, there's a watcher. Watchers are rare individuals blessed or cursed with the ability to interact with the dead and see into the realm between life and death. Some watchers are driven mad by their gift, while others struggle to live normal lives. And so this ability here, interact with the dead and see into the realm beyond between life and death, that is what allowed us in the first 2 games to be able to converse with people who had died, with spirits who had died, and souls who had already died and were in the in-between. And this woman seems to be looking for a watcher. So let's see what she has to say about that. That this has an option. Don't waste your coin on watchers. Nobody can really speak to souls. Yeah, I just got here. I'm as lost as you.
I was afraid you'd say that. I need to speak to one, fast.
Why do you need someone who can read souls?
I'm clearly under some kind of curse. A band of Zorips invaded my house. What am I gonna do?
So we have actual journal entry for Zorip here. Reptilian humanoids who settle in the wild parts of Eora. They're known for worshipping creatures larger than themselves, like dragons and ogres. Oh, I thought it was just dragons. But in the absence of a leader, will bide their time until one is found. Fiercely territorial, they'll attack anyone who crosses into the land or threatens their tribe. Why would Zorips invade your house?
Why did they do anything? They've probably eaten all my food and destroyed my supplies. I don't know what else. First, my ship gets attacked by pirates. Then none of my plants will take. Now this happens? And they won't let me into Paradise to sort it out?
Who's they?
The militia. They're scared of some plague. At least that's what they say. I wonder if it's really the Adirans. Keep us out and themselves in. I should never have come here.
Come here for a better life and find a worse one. Wish I hadn't heard that before.
What happened to your plants?
I wanted to grow a little food, save some skates. They never thrived, that's all. Clearly, I have bigger things to worry about.
Most people would have given up by now. Why do you stay?
It's hard to put it into words. I just feel like I should be here. I'd heard it was dangerous, but the Glenfathan wilds were dangerous. I thought I was prepared. I had no idea what I was in for.
Glenfathans are one of the many cultures occupying the Eastern Reach. The elves, orlins, and dwarves who make up the Glenfathan tribes are fiercely protective of ancient sites and nature's dominion over the continent. And when it says ancient sites, it's talking about Ingwethan ruins, who they believe they have been tasked with protecting from any would-be invaders and plunderers. Souls of plants and kiths are made of the same essence. Maybe your plants died of the plague?
Gods. Is it in the crops? As if things couldn't get any worse.
See what I can do about the Zorps.
Then take my house key. It's northwest of here. That cabin on the cliff all by itself. Gods know I can't go back. And there's nothing to steal either. The Zorps saw to that. Come back when you've dealt with them. And make sure you get their leader, too. I'm sorry, but I don't think they'll go quietly. You'll have to kill them.
I mean, that won't be a problem.
Still, I know it's a dirty job. Thank you. That may not be worth much coming from a stranger, but I mean it.
Okay, so we got a new quest, Cabin Fever.
No, I don't sell dank spores. Please stop asking.
Skates. Alright, I think this is better in... Oh, whoops, wrong button. Excuse me, I think this is better in first person. Just seems like it moves faster, and I like that. So I'm sorry if you keep hearing these.
After what happened with Felicia.
Still,
Oh!
something to be said.
Isn't going to do anything.
You're right.
If you don't mind
Of course.
your stance on animates.
Have faith,
I
love.
suppose. It isn't perfect, but in all my years living here, I've never felt so safe.
Ah, well, let's hope they never make it.
Oh, you must be the Imperial envoy that just arrived. Hello.
Darling, you don't think that...
I don't know. I'm sure you're very busy, envoy. But do you know of any other ships from Adir that are slated to arrive soon?
So the reason I said, oh, and wanted to talk to these people is because I think this woman mentioned Kalisha, who was our very first companion way back in the first Pillars of Eternity game. She didn't last very long. She was basically there as a tutorial companion, and then she died shortly after that. But this woman, I think, is her mother. Is something wrong? You seem worried.
Is it that easy to tell? Gods, I must be losing my touch.
We're waiting for our son, you see. He's been living in Adir for a number of years now, but is finally coming home.
I just hope he doesn't meet any trouble. I couldn't bear the thought of losing him, too. Not after...
What?
After we lost our little girl. She was working as a mercenary in the Deerwood. Last we heard, she was traveling to Gilded Vale to check in on Alvra, our other daughter.
But she never made it. We can only assume the worst.
So, Deerwood is a former Adirran colony. Deerwoodans fought for and won their independence in 2672. Later, they fought in the Saints' War and suffered the effects of the Hollowborn Crisis. Constant turmoil and political upheaval have made the Deerwood a cautionary tale about the futility of colonization. Yeah, I guess the things that aren't being said there, Adir colonized Deerwood, but the Deerwoodans then fought back, much like the history of the British colonists in America who fought back against the British Empire. And then we have the Hollowborn crisis, which was a crisis crucial to the first game. It was basically the driving force behind what we were doing in the first game, where children were being born without souls. And they had tried a number of different cures for it, including taking souls from animals and putting it into children, which seemed to work as at first, but then eventually when the kids hit adolescence, they turned into Wicks, which basically feral children who would just attack you and wouldn't stop until they died. So that was pretty sad. Also, they are talking about Felicia, who went to the Gilded Vale, and we're going to read about that in a second. And like I said, she was our companion very briefly in the first game, and she died. So I understand why our character, the Envoy, would not know that she died, but like as a player of the first game, I know that she died. And Alfra as well. We met with Alfra, who want to say was pregnant and worried that her child would be Hollowborn, and she wanted us to find a cure for her, but rather than a cure, we found a potion where she could basically terminate her pregnancy, because the person she was looking for. Now I'm wondering if Alfra was the person that had the potion that terminated the pregnancy, or if she was the one. But either way, there was a story involving a person that wanted to have some kind of cure for the Hollowborn that her baby might have been, but rather than the cure terminating the pregnancy. Then we have the Gilded Vale, a quiet hamlet in the Eastern Reach, in the heart of Deerwood's grain basket. The Hollowborn crisis put a severe strain on Gilded Vale until the Watcher of Cadnua resolved this disastrous phenomenon. That was the Watcher of Cadnua is our protagonist in the first two games. Watcher of Cadnua. I'm sorry for your loss, truly.
We appreciate that, Envoy.
Thank you for taking the time to speak with us, Envoy. We really appreciate it. Gods be with you.
The lighthouse was a gift from the Animancers of Fjord. You should see it at night, it's breathtaking.
I'm grateful for Adir. I was getting tired of the lawlessness.
Lighthouse. Now I want to see it. Ah, there it is. If I want to go up that. How free are we? Ooh. Huffing expecting us to block us from actually jumping in there. Horn. Required ingredient that you can cook recipes in the party camp. Use the cauldron to create consumables with enhanced effects. Cool. Something I didn't do ever in Pillars of Eternity. I kept saying in the lore throughs that I wanted to do more of that, and I just never did. So maybe I'll do it in this game. We'll see. Alright, so first thing I want to do. This is Devona's cottage, and it said. So that's our tracked quest. Find the strangle root. What quest is that? I have a little skull here. So quests are kind of difficult for us to do. The Eora ambassador is missing. He's last seen headed to the Strangle Route, which is northwest Past the old Pargrin wall. Okay. So Strangleroot is, I guess, the name of a place.
I sailed all the way from the Eastern Reach, if you can believe it.
Don't even bother heading to Paradise unless you've got a friend in the militia. Or maybe Heelguard could pull some strings.
They've only been here a few years, but the Adherents act like they run the place.
Leave me alone.
Sceneric.
They say the ambassador is a good friend and a terrible enemy.
That won't go too far. He's supposed to be a merchant. Yep.
Greetings, friend. You look like you could use a fine weapon or a sturdy shield. Not to worry, Volter is here. I suggest you take a look at my wares before you speak to Daggerda. Who knows what mood she's in today?
Where do you get your wares?
From legitimate sources, clearly. From traders and adventurers, mostly. And a few used pieces from people down on their luck.
I didn't consider the legitimacy of your wares, but I am now.
Apologies, friend. People see me selling weapons on the harbor and call my morals into question. I assure you, all of my wares have been vetted for quality and polished thoroughly to remove any unwanted stains.
I'm gonna stop questioning. Let's see what you have for sale. So this is what he has for sale. Or wait, that's my inventory. This is Voltaire's inventory. All this stuff is common. Nothing too interesting here. Sell some weapons that I need, want. I have a breastplate. It's not great. Spellcast. Usually. I'm gonna keep the other. I don't want it.
The Living Lands are a dangerous place. A newcomer like you surely needs armaments. Heading out to the wilds, make sure you have everything you need. You don't want to...
Kai, I told you not to show your face around here again.
Come on. You're not still mad about that hunting knife, are you?
All right, no. You're clear. But you better pay up front this time.
I knew you'd come around. You miss me.
I'll let you think that. I don't mind him. What are you interested in?
You and Kai old friends?
Yeah, some of the oldest in Paradise. He's a headache, but that's because you want him to come back alive.
So you do care.
I lagged the groat for you. Do I have to spell it out?
History steel grout. Let's see what you have for sale. You have Wayfarer's Glove, which are unique. 600. I actually can't afford that. Minus 10 stamina cost while blocking. I'm not really. Often, power attacks deal plus 5% bonus fire damage. Paladins that are Boudica, found among the ranks of the Steel Garrote Order. There's always an exception to the rule. Ulfdrang was one such exception. He was of the Order of the Kind Wayfarers, and would spend his days walking alongside those traveling the roads of Adir, keeping them safe from beast and outlaw alike. Ulfdrang favored a shield in combat, partially to protect himself, but more so to protect those he traveled alongside. It seems that a small sliver of both his desire to protect and his fiery zeal yet remain in the gauntlets he wore in life. A couple things here. So, the Kind Wayfarers are a paladin order. that I believe I'm not 100% up to my knowledge on Paladin Order, but I believe they just kind of wander and help people out who and magical items in this often are magical because it's like somebody uses them, and it's to after a certain amount of time they almost gain part of the soul essence of that person, and they gain the aspects of what that person used them for. So it's not like in a lot of games or worlds where a wizard enchants an item or something, although I believe that can happen too. That definitely can, actually. But sometimes it's just because through use it gains the properties of how they are used based on the person who's used. Okay, we got a bunch of picks here. We got some lock picks. This is interesting to me. We have a treasure map for an intimidating feline codpiece. This map reveals the location of a hidden treasure somewhere in Dawnshore. I want that. Treasure map. Intimidating feline codpiece. My husband sent a fortune on the Stelgar codpiece to spice things up in the bedroom. Now he's dead on account of weak heart. Nothing to do with that tasteless, though brutally effective garment, so I leave it to the gods to find a worthy heir. Looks like there's a picture here. Maybe this black line is where... in the middle of some kind of crevasse here, there's some trees. And on the right-hand side, those are probably mushrooms or something like growing up the side, like in a cave. Nice. Let's not buy anything just yet.
What harm could some new armor do? Look good and stay alive.
Because who knows what we're going to find. That's all common stuff. I'm sure we'll find that somehow. So we can pick this lock. I doubt
Get lost.
people would be happy if we did that. On his threshold. Oh. So this has 3 skulls. Let's not do that.
I've come in search of lost treasures. Have you heard any rumors of such things in the area?
I suppose so, actually. There are some Pargrunan ruins to the north, just across the river from the Strangle route. The Pargrunan are said to have left behind many treasures.
Very good. I will remember you. You will be justly compensated upon my return.
Yeah, sure. Just be careful, all right? The land gets more dangerous the further north you go. No telling what might be waiting for you.
Do not. It's a fine day for adventuring. Greetings, godlike.
Something tells me I won't be getting that compensation.
Enticing. These? No.
That lighthouse has been under repair since Adiran ships began filling the harbor.
That's right there. Across there. I'll do that right now. I thought I was going to be able to make that jump. Right. Gotta be. Something purple in there. That. I don't know what that icon on the left-hand side of my screen is. Oh.
The Dream Scourge has driven people to the city. Means more bandits on the road.
That before, maybe this will be it. Yeah, here we go. Oh, okay. Skelling, silver fennings, brigandine armor, that's heavy armor, don't want that. Monster part, enchanting material, beetle shell. Softwood branch. You just acquired an upgrade material. They're used to improve weapons and armor. Have to use the workbench at the party camp. Iron chunks and pelts. Fury, a grenade. Oh, so we actually press Q and hold to throw your equipped throwable. Change your equipped throwable in the action radial. Okay, so the grenades. Common spear. Oh. Let's go buy those. At least get back here easily. Wait. I just want to know how to. Chief weapons is T.
Protect that pretty face. Armor.
Nice to.
I think. No, it was.
Time to resupply.
She's got 3 lockpicks, and I. Amethyst, agate, paradise ladder. Oh, it's an herb. Oh, iron chunk, softwood, and primal water. Another enchanting material. Nice. Okay. Paradise ladder. Bright red and yellow vines that grow from the plant are prized for their brilliant hue and adhesive properties. Beetle shell, segmented armor-like shell of a very large beetle. Primal water. This water is pure and clear and seems to be perpetually in motion, even with a vessel that carries it is at rest. Iron chunks. This chunk of dull iron lacks any real luster. Its surface is pitted with irregularities. Iron pelts and softwood branches. amethyst. It can be found in a variety of shades, but those in the darkest violet are considered to be the most valuable. Discoveries of new sources have become commonplace in the past few hundred years, and amethyst no longer fetches the same prices as it did. So, well. That's cool. It's really simple to transmogrify something. I'm gonna put. There's a way to. Perfect for the wild. To survive the living land, you need to scavenge supplies to upgrade your gear, upgrade your armor. Oh, okay.
What harm could some new armor?
Oh, there's a merchant here. This is the person that Walter said would be in a bad mood.
Welcome to Dawnshore, traveler. My name is Dagerda. You seem like you could use a nice potion or a bite to eat. And I promise a safe and pleasant transaction, despite whatever Walter told you.
Walter warned me about you.
I'm sure he did. He'd rather chase off my customers than admit he was wrong.
I happened to break up your marriage. How do we know that they were married?
To be honest, stranger, I'm not inclined to go into it. He knows what he did. And let's leave it at that.
I'm just looking at your wares. Potions. Yeah. Just some consumables here, so that's where we go for those.
Living lands are a dangerous place. A newcomer like you.
Ready to talk to them. Test your mettle. Do you think you have what it takes to stand against me? Come see for yourself. Whether you're a Paradise native, an Adiran newcomer, or anyone else, you are welcome in my arena. Just leave your problems and politics at the threshold unless you want to be the next one to test my theory. Kith can fly, only straight towards the ground. Only once. Come to the talk of Mogren's assay and see what you're made of. Cosmo weapon master. Close where Cosima's assay is. Therefore, in it. Spear. Victory. It's the next place I want to go. There's a way to get up there. Oh no, wait, that's where I was. Fruitful wine. Made of a mixture of all fruits native to the living lands, this drink is kept in a fine oak barrel. Those with less discerning taste find this drink to be overly expensive and no different from a drink for children. Of course, the vintner disagrees. What are they dancing to? Oh, that's where I thought I could get. Oh, nice. Nope. Uh-oh.
it here first. I'm not going anywhere.
You're not working or selling something.
Now listen. You might be making an idea, but these are our dogs, not yours.
Now that you recruited Kai, the action radio will support companion abilities. Elements of the action radio. Okay, nice. Fire and ire. Okay.
What you were trying to accomplish.
Chicken. What is this? Bobo with feathers and colorful. That's something we saw in the Pillars games? I don't know. I see ya. Alright, this Audra is glowing purple. Oh, this is the party camp. You can set up party camp at large Audra waystones found throughout the living lands.
Maybe it's superstition, but Audra like this usually marks a good spot to rest.
Well, yeah, set up party camp. Yes, I have the premium edition. I can change my companion outfits. The Obsidian and Eora armor sets are accessible. Right, okay. Yeah, something...
I haven't seen this much excitement in a while. Perhaps I've got you to thank for bringing it with you, Envoy.
One of the things that I'm really excited to see, and I remember somebody mentioning as like some kind of press event or something, was that I never got to see the sky of Eora before.
Night on dry land. Personally, I've always found the rocking of a ship to be soothing. As long as I've got my feet facing the bow, that is.
Here we can see it. Galaxy right here, probably. See the purple light station, the purple light from the lighthouse, and this is very interesting to me. This purple light up there, it's some kind of soul essence or something like that. Is that? I wonder if that has something to do with the in-between, or you see the moon? There are 3 moons of it, or is it just 2? Oh, man, I don't remember. I know that one moon is hidden, and when it's aligned with another moon, it creates what's called the Lover's Tide, where the waters and are very can't think of the, not destructive, but they're very hard to tell what's going to happen during the Lover's Tide. Don't see that other moon anywhere unless a moon. There was a moon that was destroyed. I wonder if that purple is the pieces of the moon. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of research before I play the next session, because this is very interesting to me. Okay, talk to Kai, see what he has to say.
You know, for most people, getting sent to the Living Lands is a punishment. But, according to Steenrick, you're the personal envoy of the Emperor of Adir himself. Quite a position.
Let's just say I know how to get a job done. The Emperor prefers not to know the specifics.
Then I dare say you're better equipped than most to wash ashore here. You must have some truly fascinating stories of past exploits.
You've done a little of this, a little of that.
Well, we'll have to have a drink at the Grinning Ballarok. Perhaps I can get you to tell me more. In the meantime, tell me this instead. Why does the Emperor send his most valuable agent to the Living Lands?
Ballarocks are massive creatures native to the Living Lands, frequently in hibernation and rarely spotted in the wild. Legends tell that a Ballaroc's form reflects their preferred season and ecosystem. They act as hunters and guardians. Oh. I was thinking maybe that was that owl-like creature we saw before. Maybe it is, but I don't know. I'm investigating the Dream Scourge.
Oh, that almost does sound like a punishment. I don't know how you investigate a so-called plague of the soul, so better you than me. Being a godlike, I don't suppose your patron deity gives you any unique insights into matters of the soul, do they?
They don't even know who they are.
I thought every godlike knew their god. That's one of the stranger things I've heard. And out here, that's saying something. Sorry, these are unusual times.
What do you mean?
I haven't met anyone who's really seen the Dream Scourge yet, but that hasn't stopped people from worrying about the rumors. Refugees are flooding in from outlying regions. The guards are restricting access to the city. And people are making offerings to the gods for everything from hangovers to indigestion, just in case.
What he said there. Oh, so, okay, so people who have hangovers and indigestion, they're making offerings hoping that they don't have the Dream Scourge. So this Dream Scourge is causing a lot of terror in the living lands. Dream Scourge is an unusual plague spreading across the living lands, one that affects the body, the soul, and even the ecosystem. Those infected are known as Dream Thralls, but they seem enthralled by some unique and terrifying madness. What's known about the Dream Scourge?
Not much. It's hard to separate fact from rumor. I've heard it changes people, makes them confused, disoriented, and eventually violent. No one seems to know exactly how it starts.
I don't know how it starts, but I've seen how it ends.
And here I was hoping for good news. Unfortunately, the presence of so many Adiran troops and the rumored exploits of the Steel Garrote paladins supporting them is only making a tense situation worse. I think that's why the Clavenger accompanied your ambassador.
I can't understand the tension. Foreign troops are rarely a welcome sight.
Exactly. Paradise has been quiet lately, but I don't know how long that'll last. We're talking about an island that has been largely settled by nomads, exiles, and dissidents. People who tend to be suspicious of authority. But what about you? What's your stake in things? Besides your orders, of course.
Say this. Something here calls to me. Don't know what it is, but I feel a connection.
Just be careful where you say that. That's the kind of talk that may get people thinking you've got the Dream Scourge. I'll let you get some rest, but thanks for talking. It's good to be part of a squad again, even if it's just for a while.
Can you tell me about Paradise?
It's the gateway to the Living Lands. A scenic port city that's as beautiful and dangerous as the wilds around it. Most visitors enjoy some mariner's porridge at the Ballarrock, a back alley shakedown, and then the sudden return of that porridge out of one end or the other. Then, if they've got any sins, they turn around and take their chances back where they came from, with authentic tales of their adventures in the Living Lands.
So, wait, I want to look at that again. Oh. like this word, this authentic tales of their adventures in the living lands, which involve coming to the port city, getting beaten up by some people in a back alley, and turning back around. I like that. Living Lands has a reputation for adventure. What do you expect?
It also has a reputation for making corpses out of people. These days, we have a few more would-be adventurers trying to leave their mark on the place. The Living Lands means a hard-won second chance for the people who settle here. But first, you've got to survive it. And the island gives no quarter.
The ultimate proving ground. Place to see what you're made of.
The folks who say that either last the longest or the shortest. For a lot of people, the Living Lands is a last resort. They come fleeing war, debt, famine, the law. Take your pick. For others, it's freedom. To seek glory, to redefine yourself, to live in a way you can't, maybe even on pain of death wherever you come from.
What's it to you?
Oh, little of everything. Rawatai is famous for storms and rocky soil, so I figured if I'm going to live in a hostile environment, why not pick some place where things grow? It seemed like a good idea at the time. Used to be. If you could last out here, you could count on being left alone.
Until the Dream Scourge, you mean?
Dangers in the wilds is nothing new out here, but something about the Dream Scourge is. And if that weren't enough, a lot of people aren't too keen on Adir's presence and affiliations out here. Ilgard's new embassy and his alliance with the Steel Garrote smell like the authority and order that a lot of people came here to leave behind. But I don't mean to put that on you. I imagine you're tired of having to answer for every Adiran who sneezes into somebody's stew.
Ilgard, that's the ambassador. Yeah. Why is the Soul Plague called the Dream Scourge anyway?
They say people afflicted with it have strange, vivid dreams and start confusing them with reality. What starts as a light daze becomes severe disorientation and eventually a bent towards chaotic violence. And then, fungal growths take over your body. So Dream Scourge.
Okay. Vivid dreams. Using them with reality. Light days become severe disorientation bent towards chaotic violence. Fungal growths take over your body. So that's the last part, those fungal growths. Okay. Fungal growths. Mine?
No. Dream Scourge is different. It spreads all over. Still, if you see any new mushrooms sprouting up anywhere unexpected, let me know. Until then, look on the bright side. The Living Lands is filled with people and things that are likelier to kill you first.
Questions about you.
My favorite subject.
Got a lot to say about second chances.
I'm well past seconds myself, if we're counting. Even decent people make mistakes, and the rest of us can grow with a little time and grace.
And what mistakes are you still running?
If I had to list them all, we'd be talking all night. Anyway, if this place can't give us misfits and screw-ups a second chance, what hope do we have?
When did you come to Paradise?
That must have been 6 years ago now. I guess I was drifting, looking for a change.
Where were you before? Or let's say a change from what?
I was living in a settlement called Thirdborn. It's a rugged little place, lots of Rawatayan expatriates.
Thirdborn. Main settlement in Shatterscarp region of the Living Lands, primarily occupied by Rawatayan expatriates, sailors, soldiers, explorers, and merchants. Oh, so I thought we were asking how long he's been. Oh, when did you come to Paradise? I thought we were asking how long plans, but it's okay. You told me why you left.
You're pretty nosy, aren't you?
Wait for him to answer.
And I thought that Inquisitor was intimidating. Things just didn't work out there. Let's leave it at that.
What'd you do before you came to Living Lands?
I joined up with the Rowatine Navy as soon as I was old enough. I was part of our campaign to establish a foothold in the Deadfire Archipelago.
That must have been before you restyled yourselves as the Royal Deadfire Company?
Not that long before, but yeah. Back then, we weren't even making pretenses at our purpose there. We were returning to our ancestral homeland, reclaiming fertile soil that would feed Rowatine. Additionally, we were helping Deadfire, bringing organization to the pirate-ridden archipelago and civilization to our distant Wana cousins.
Civilization to our distant Huana cousins. That is a very Royal Deadfire Company thing to say. This idea of civilization. Huana are somehow wild and uncivilized, so the Royal Deadfire Company needs to come in and bring civilization to them. Sounds familiar.
To add they're bringing order and civilization to our lawless frontier? Then I hope you learn from my mistakes faster than I did. The Huana didn't want us there. We spent almost as much time fighting the tribes as we did pirates and Wilder. And it was hard to see how any of our fighting and dying was feeding people back home. I'd always heard that war was supposed to temper us, strengthen us, but I didn't see that either.
So a couple new entries here. We have Huana. The Huana are the indigenous culture of the Deadfire Archipelago, keen sailors and survivors who thrived in the harsh region for thousands of years. Long ago, they were an imperial power ruling from the great city of Ukaizo. Today, their diminished but influential authority can be found on the island of Nekataka. And yeah, we found out at the end of the second game that the Huana and the Engwithans actually worked with each other, but not in they weren't always working with each other, but they had a kind of relationship with each other, which means that the Huana has been around for thousands of years. Then we have Wilders, are sentient creatures who form complex communities but are nonetheless excluded from Kith society. Whether that's the fault of language barriers, immense cultural differences, or unexamined bigotry, however, depends on who you ask. An example of Wilders would be Zorbs that we're getting to. And what did you see?
Some fell apart. Some bought into the cruelty that our continued presence required. Others didn't buy into it, but went along with it anyway. And that bothered me more somehow. I deserted. And I bounced between different mercenary companies for almost 10 years.
Desertion's a serious crime in the Rowatine Navy.
That's why I never returned home. There were only so many options for a Rowatine deserter with no training and anything else. As a mercenary, I figured I could at least choose my battles and my crew.
So he was with the Royal Deadfire Company, got disillusioned by them, and left, and I respect him for that. And how'd that work out?
I ended up here, didn't I? It was more of the same. The only comfort was being part of a squad. By the time I came to the Living Lands, I'd seen enough, had enough.
Find something better here.
I did. Yeah, for a while. Look, if I can give you some hard-won advice, stay on your toes. You're in a difficult position. Whatever your role asks of you, make sure it's something you're willing to give. Because you're the one who has to live with the consequences.
The advice.
Hey, advice is easy. The hard part's all you. By the way, now that we've gotten to know each other, let me know if you want to train together. I've been watching your form, and I think we could learn from one another.
Definitely hasn't seen my form yet. You're originally from Rawatai.
What gave it away? My finely pointed teeth, or the striking blue of my scales?
Why leave Rawatai?
The real question is why not? Rawatai's hardly a hospitable environment. Many of us end up settling elsewhere or making a living on the go. That's where you get the popular image of the Amawa bodyguard, a mercenary.
And that was something that the Rail Deadfire Company was trying to do in the second game, in the second Pillars game. They were talking about the storm that surrounded Ukaizo, which was Andra's mortar. Understanding that could have helped to make Rawatai itself more hospitable. So that's kind of what they wanted to reach Ukaizo for, aside from just a very militaristic mindset in the first place. What's Rawatai like?
A thump on the back and a crack on the skull from a brother who says you should visit more. It's complicated. I guess home usually is. Lashed by storms and battered by waves. We call it the rough country. And old trenchers say it's made us who we are.
Trenchers?
We do a lot of digging for irrigation, drainage, warfare, the occasional village tournament. Anyone from Rawatai has spent enough time in some kind of hole in the ground to be on a first-name basis with the worms. So, trenchers. Those of us who leave are scramble roots, hardy weeds that can survive just about anywhere.
Sounds like an unpleasant place to live.
Then it won't surprise you that many leave. And not just because of the hardships. The land can't support everyone. Not that we don't do our damnedest to beat it into shape. Our coral masons have built living harbors and fortifications along the coast to protect our ships and shelter our cities. For all our shortage of fertile soil, Rawatai's land is abundant in saltpeter, copper, iron, most of the other materials you need to outfit your military with weapons and cannons. We value struggling and striving together. It helped us survive and build one of the most powerful navies in Eora.
So a couple things there. Because of the land that they live in, it seems like military was almost forced on them because that's what they had as far as resources go. So they just used what they had and built a powerful military. The other thing is he left. He ran away, but he still seems very proud of what Rawatai is able to do to the Rawataian land, despite having deserted. And yes, Rawatai and the Rail Deadfire Company technically deserted the Rail Deadfire Company, but in a sense that is also deserting Rawatai itself. As well as one of the most warlike and expansionist.
You're not wrong. Though, my countrymen would point out that we had to expand to find fertile land to feed our people. And the scattered kingdoms we've absorbed in the process have joined one of the most advanced nations in the world.
That's still aggressive overreach.
And that's an interesting point coming from the Adiran Emperor's representative in the Living Lands.
That's what I thought too when I said that. I wanted to see if he would mention it, and he did. Let's talk about Dawnshore.
Sure. What's on your mind?
Nope. Nothing new. You mentioned training together?
Yeah. I've watched your form as I've gotten to know you, and it's excellent. You're smaller than I am, but I've picked up a few tricks from seeing the way you move on the battlefield. I'm happy to return the favor if there's anything I can teach you.
Let's see. Think about it.
You know where to find me when you're ready.
I wonder if that will like upgrade our stats or something. Decide to do. Wow, look, mushrooms are glowing there. Cool. Okay, so we can't walk to it. This obsidian one. Stash. Enchanting station. Select a unique weapon from the left side of the screen to enchant. Replacement for its primary enhancement on the right side of the screen. Enchanting requires specific enchanting materials and currency. Cannot be undone. Enchanting materials consist of monster parts like zorb tongue, spider webs, etc. I don't think I have. Select a weapon or piece of armor. Upgrade. In order to upgrade, you must have enough upgrade materials. Materials come in numerous types. There's weapon materials like wood, armor materials like pelts and hides, also herbs, and upgrade items. Adra, upgrade unique items, and cross quality tier. Okay, enchanting material. Okay. I have this wand. Okay, so I need 4 softwood branch and 2 paradisine ladder, and I have those, so let's do that. Grimoire? Good, but I still need common robe. I need. Cool. Okay. Do I not have that quest anymore? Oh, I need to upgrade my armor. Some light. Right, so rest for the night and exit party camp. Yeah. And that's it. And I think that will be good for this first session here. So, yes, we're finally back in Eora. Absolutely love this. This is making me really happy right here. I hope you guys are liking it as much as I am. And if you are playing, same thing. Hope you are enjoying it. I have seen from what I've read, there were a few people that said it starts a little bit slow and then it really picks up. So I am excited for that. I think for me, I'm just like really excited to be here. So this is all great for me right now. But I could see how it might be if you are new to the world of Eora. I could see how it might be a little bit underwhelming. Because there's nothing that really stands out, but just like being here and learning about some things, that's enough for me as far as this goes right now. So thank you as always for joining me. Let me know if there's any comments that you have, any clarifications, questions, those kinds of things. I always love to hear from you, and I hope to see you next time for more sentences and paragraphs. Bye everybody.